my name is Bree. I make weekly videos on skincare and beauty, specifically tailored for people with acne or acne-prone skin. So if you're interested in seeing more videos like that, go ahead and join the fam and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to see if pimple patches actually work and which one would be the right one for you, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the first one I want to start with is definitely the hydrocolloid patches. So these ones that I have here are from CosRx, and I believe that was like $5 when I got them, and it comes with 90 patches, which is great. And basically what these little patches are, they are just like little circles, and some of them are kind of skin tone color. And I like this one because it comes in a bunch of different sizes as well, depending on your zit type. So if you can see here, and these types are hydrocolloid patches, and basically hydrocolloid patches have been used in like the medical field for years, I believe. It's supposed to help absorb that excess oil and sebum production and extract impurities, but it also creates like a barrier over the skin to like protect from like just like outside pollutants, irritants, and all that. Because basically, if you think about it, a pimple is just a mini open wound. So that's what hydrocolloid patches have been used for in the past. And it just acts as a protective barrier to help the wound heal faster during the healing process and make sure none of the nasties from the air or anything else that could irritate it don't go in there. It just helps to suck up all the gunk and nasty pus and little grimy things from your zit, which is super cool. But again, I was like, how is it gonna do that? Because there's no active ingredients in most hydrocolloid patches. It's kind of just the standard patch, since it's gonna like really absorb that gunk. And they don't really treat the pimples with actives. So you'll get like the actives from the other steps in your skincare routine, such as like your serums, but the hydrocolloid patch doesn't have any actives in it. It's just a little patch. So I was really skeptical about hydrocolloid patches, especially when I heard that there's no actives in this one. I was like, how is it gonna treat my pimple then? So these are actually really good for when you have a whitehead forming. That's kind of like the later stages of a zit. Like when you have a whitehead, you can see that pus coming out and it doesn't look cute. This is what those are for. You can get these at a couple of different price points. These are the least expensive, and I really love these CosRx ones. I know there's like the Mighty Patch or the Hero Patch. I think that's at Target. Have not tried those yet. But this one I really love, especially because it comes with 90 patches. Like, that's a deal. And it is amazing for getting the nasty goo out of your zit. Like, as soon as I see it coming, I got a couple, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been a pimple popper in the past, but I just can't help it just because I hate seeing the little white head. It just doesn't look cute. It's nasty, and I'm like, it's ripe and ready to go. I know I shouldn't. So this has also really helped with my little picking and urge to pop my zits, because I just really pop this on my skin and then leave it on overnight, and then the next day I rip that baby off, and it is so satisfyingly nasty. You can see all the nasty little whiteheads, and like all the gunk is pretty much out, which is crazy, and then it's pretty much flat. Sometimes it takes more than a day. Like sometimes I have to kind of like double patch, and the next day I'll put it on again if I see, oh, a little more whitehead pus is coming out, let me put it on again. But literally 1 to 2 days of either double patching or kind of leaving it, I do notice that they heal a lot faster when I do use these. These work so good. I even got my boyfriend to try one, and he was also shook at how well it worked. Just literally rip it off, and it's like flat the next day, and it doesn't get all the nasty juices everywhere, and it's just like all on the nice little patch. So when are you gonna use this in your skincare routine? I usually love to do it after cleansing my face and then putting on these patches right after. So you just wanna make sure you wash your face so you can get all the excess sebum and oil and any other gunk that's been kind of living on your face throughout the day, like makeup or anything, just so that you make sure you have a clean surface for the patch, since it's gonna stay on and kind of have that protective barrier. You wanna make sure you're keeping all the nice things in and not like also trapping in some dirt and oil and all the gunk. And then so you're gonna wanna apply this the second. Also, make sure after your cleansing, you kind of let your face dry for a good second. That's why I also don't like to do it after toner or anything, just because because if your skin's still a little bit wet, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to stick on the pimple patch. So that's why I recommend just after cleansing, let your face dry a bit and then go ahead and stick these on, and then you should have no issues doing that. You can also use some tweezers just in case if your fingers are a little bit more oily that day. It can kind of also get the edges weird. Like I know I've had some of my edges fold when I'm taking it off. So using tweezers has actually been very helpful. I have been loving these. They are totally worth the hype. Just like it says, acid protective cover, doesn't dry and absorbs all the impurities, oil, nasty little pus. So that is the hydrocolloid patches. Highly recommend. And you can, there's some pretty affordable and expensive options. I really love these CosRx ones, especially because it's 90. These specific ones come in 3 different sizes, it looks like. A 7mm, 10mm, and a 12mm. And I love in here that they give you different size patches, because sometimes you only have like the little guys, so you don't want to waste a whole giant patch on them, because sometimes you got the mighty monsters that need a lot of a patch, or sometimes you can use that if they're very close together, put it on the big patch on 2 of them and it covers more ground. Now, while these are great, these aren't a total solution to your pimples and your problems. Again, this is going to help them heal faster, but it's not going to do anything to prevent a new pimple from forming. This is for like the later stages of the zit, again, when it's kind of already had that whitehead and all the gunk's coming to the surface. But if you want to treat it, besides like through serums and different things like that, that is where these microdart patches come in. These are by Zipstika and these come in 8. These are a little bit more expensive than the hydrocolloid patches, but this is also because this is what is going to actually treat your pimple and treat the zit. Basically, they look like the hydrocolloid patches, but they have these little spikes on them which actually contain those acne fighting ingredients and are going to actually penetrate a little bit into the zit just to deliver those active ingredients deeper into the skin and really fight the zit at the source. So Zipstika is cool because they come first with this little swab and then they come with the actual micro dart patch. So the swab, when it comes to those ingredients, the swab has a little bit of alcohol, water, tea tree leaf oil, and also salicylic acid. So what this swab is meant to do is wherever you're gonna put the micro dart patch, so like after you're cleansing, you're gonna just wanna clean the area. And I love that they include a swab because it's really gonna help to disinfect the area before you go in with those little micro darts that are really gonna penetrate those ingredients deep into the zit. And this is for zits that are like just really painful kind of to the touch and they're just not there yet. Like they're not forming like a whitehead, but they hurt and it's just like, I need this treated. These ingredients need to go deep. So that is what these micro darts are great for. After you cleanse, just to get all those dirt, all the impurities and nasties off, and then you're gonna wanna go in with the swab. And then you're gonna wanna go in with the actual micro dart patch. So that's when you go in with This has hyaluronic acid, salicylic acid, and niacinamide in it, which is great in the micro dart. So once you kind of clean that area, I like to let it dry a little bit because similar to the hydrocolloid patches, if you don't let it dry a bit, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get it to stick to the skin. So once it dries a little bit, I go ahead and put on the micro dart patch and you can actually feel it. It says to hold and press for like 3 to 5 seconds. So I go ahead and do that and you can really feel it kind of like penetrating like into the zit. It's like little micro darts. Shocking how accurate that is. I like to leave it on overnight and I do usually see a reduction in the size of my pimple. It's usually a little bit more on the flatter side, or at least a little bit also like more calmed down, doesn't hurt as bad, it isn't as aggressive I guess the next day. I just learned you can also double patch. So the next day, or like when you wake up and you remove that, you can also put on a new one. And then that should also help really speed up the healing process of the pimple. So I was very skeptical on these as well. I was like, is this really gonna do, or these micro darts? I was also kind of scared if these micro darts were gonna hurt, almost like baby acupuncture, but it doesn't hurt. It feels fine, and then it is kind of like the hydrocolloid patch where it offers that protective barrier, except this is actually delivering those acne fighting ingredients that are really gonna help kill the pimple at its little source. And I love these and I do feel like it speeds up the healing time. So I have one more in here, and also the only other thing that's kind of a little bit inconvenient with these is if you have multiple under the skin pimples. Like these are great if you have multiple kind of whiteheads. It's like, since it's a pack of 90, super easy to kind of put them on, and these are like not as expensive as these bad boys are. So really easy to refill, and it's like hurts the pocket a lot less, and you can cover more ground with those. Whereas with these, the Killa, I love them. They do work so well. It just kills me that there's only 8 patches in here. because I've run into a situation where I have had a couple, I think like 2 to 3 of these under the skin pimples that really hurt. And I feel like you don't need a swab for everything. I feel like you can like, because the swab's like pretty, it's not large, but it's like big enough. Like if you unfold it, you can cover a little bit more ground and clean like the spots that you need. So they give you a lot of swabs, I think like 1 per patch, however, but if you have multiple like deep zits, there's only 1 patch in here. So if there's only 8 and you use it all at once, you're kind of out of luck, which kind of sucks. So I have like all of these little cleaners and then I only have 1 microdart patch left, but they work super well. So that's why I love them. But again, it just pains me. Pain-free microdarts penetrate stratum corneum, which is the top skin layer, and then dissolves within 2 hours, depositing the clarifying ingredients, and then the zit is supposed to flatten and stabilize. Success at the source. And these also, so I'm just like looking at the little thing, it actually has a hydrocolloid base, but then it has the microdarts with the ingredients, and I guess they dissolve within 2 hours. So the best of both worlds with the microdart patch. However, I wouldn't use the microdart patch for like the little whiteheads. It's not gonna do much, especially since it's like the late stage of the zit anyway. You're better off just going with these, but if it's like under the skin, go ahead with the microdarts. And I love how these microdarts have those ingredients like the tea tree, but especially the salicylic acid. You know, I love me some AHAs and BHAs, and those BHAs, since they're oil soluble, are really gonna dive deep into the skin and clear out the pores and all the gunk that can cause pimples. So salicylic acid is a great ingredient for zits, so love that this helps it kind of penetrate deeper. It also has niacinamide in here, which is great, and it's also going to help with the hyperpigmentation that zits can cause, and niacinamide is just like a great all-star ingredient anyway, so I love that those are included in here. So it looks like at Ulta, it's actually, for the set of 90 is going to be around 20 bucks, but you can get a set of 20 for like $6. But I personally love the set of 90. I like have 1 more sheet left, and this has been so worth it for me, especially again because this comes with 8, and I tend to run through these very quickly with my little whiteheads. So the kill of this comes in 8 microdart patches, and I wish there was something between the 8-pack and the 20-pack that they just came out with. $29 for the 8-pack and then $60 for the 20-pack, which again, great, and super excited that they have a larger option. However, I wish there was just something in the middle. But I've been really interested also in Zipstika because they look like they have a lot of great products. Overall, do pimple patches work? Yes. Yes, they do, but which one you use really depends on the stage of your pimple and kind of how long. So is this going to completely make you acne free? No. Is it gonna help that pimple fade faster? Yes. 100% yes. So I love these, I love both of them. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you have tried pimple patches. Have you tried the hydrocolloid? Have you tried the microdarts? Let me know. Do you think they were as effective? Also let me know some of your favorite brands of pimple patches, whether they're hydrocolloid or microdarts. Zipstika is the only one that I know of so far with microdart, except for Hero. I think the Mighty Patch might have some microdarts, but haven't tried that. So if there's any other ones, let me know down in the comments below. And if you are interested in more skincare content, go ahead and click any of the playlists right here. And if you want some more beauty content, then click the playlist right here for some just light entertainment and merriment. And depending on what you choose, I will see you in that video.